Hey everybody, Jerry Wayne here. I'm trying to keep a smile on my face, even though that we're living in such a negative world right now, and I think that's an important thing to do because you gotta look around you. You know, the world isn't all on your phone, and we have some troubling times coming ahead of us, but no reason to not be smiling. So, yeah, I'm going to today. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's happening in the United States. I'm sure that's what a lot of you would like to hear. Um, as you all know, George Floyd was murdered by a police officer in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Let me talk on that a little bit. I think it's terrible that that happened. I think it's terrible that the police next to that altercation happened. They didn't stop what was happening. I do believe that the bystanders should have done something as well. You can disagree with that all you want. That's fine. I personally would have done something, but I know a lot of people say that's easier said than done, and that very well may be true. But I know who I am, and I know what I would do. Um, it wasn't right to watch a man for nearly 9 minutes be killed slowly. That's a terrible thing. I do believe that everybody involved should be tried to the full extent of the law. I think that they should go away for murder. Absolutely. Um, Now moving on, these protests. It started off just with a one-dayer, then now it's multiple days, and it's getting worse and worse. And we're seeing that our police officers are pulling back. Some are still in the midst of it, which is great. But to pull back from such actions, I don't personally agree with. Now let's talk about the protesters themselves. They're protesting for Black Lives Matter. They're protesting for George Floyd, and they should. I agree. I agree with the movement as a whole that there is some injustice going on there. Do I think this is a black and white matter? Absolutely not. I think that this is a matter between our judicial system and civilians of the United States, and I think that if we tackle it that way, we'll be able to move much further and much faster. As a united country as well. So now I have reason to believe that there are protesters that are protesting for just these cause. There are also people that are rioting, and I don't think that all the protesters and the rioters are of the same demographic. I think that they're intermingling with each other. As for the rioters, you are absolutely the enemy of the people. I don't stand with you whatsoever. As always, I am open to hearing your views because I very well may learn something. We do have very different opinions on what's happening, but I'm open to hear what you have to say. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you my opinion. So people are rioting. They're burning down people's places where they live. You're burning down stores. You're stealing. You're standing on the the name, I should say, of George Floyd for your own personal gain. I don't stand with that. I think that's terrible. I think that's selfish. I'm sure not a lot of you guys are going to be watching this. I'm pretty much preaching to the choir here, and that's perfectly fine with me as well. We talk about Black Lives Matter. We talk about George Floyd. Yes, Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. And just because I say all lives matter doesn't mean I'm taking away from the fact that Black lives matter. Because we're all Americans here, and we all matter. By looting and by burning down places, doesn't even matter if it's infrastructure somewhere, if it's somebody's house. Just the other day, a child was killed from a fire that was set by these protesters. A child. Has absolutely nothing to do with the situation at hand. They can't even vote. Yet they died. That child died. And not only did the child die, EMT and first responders with the fire trucks were not able to get to the child because they were blocking the way. How dare you? How dare you as a human being step in the way of somebody's life being saved? I'm not trying to get heated here. I'm just trying to get my point across, and yes, it's something that reminisces with me on a very personal level. I think it's terrible that these things are happening. To stand on the name of George Floyd, in the name of self-serving yourself, while people are dying, I can't get my head around it. I can't figure out where your mindset is, and I'm so willing to listen. Just the other night, I believe it was last night, a gentleman, 77-year-old retired police captain, was murdered by these rioters. So by Black Lives Matter, you think it's okay to go out and kill people in the name of George Floyd. Now, again, not everybody's doing this. There are a few people that are doing this, and I completely understand. And there are plenty of people that I speak to on a regular basis that are black that don't agree with what's happening here. They stand with me 100%. But at the same time, we have very different political views. They're on the left. I'm in the middle. You know, I'm a little bit left, a little bit right. All I want is equality for all of us to move forward and to preserve the Constitution. That's what I want. And they're not against that either. But the way they see it is like, you know, there's some civil injustices going on here. And be that as it may, I think that we all have a very similar end goal. We just have very different mindsets on how to obtain that goal. So that's why I'm always willing to listen to the opposition. So maybe we can find some common ground and move forward on this stuff. It's getting more and more difficult to find common ground with people from the left, and there's some people from the right that don't agree with me all the time. I think there's fewer people from the right than the left, and be that as it may. But we all are individuals, and we all have our individual mindsets. And that's the beauty of the United States, is that we can all have individual mindsets. And we can all say what we want without being hindered. Well, that day seems to be coming to an end. When this is me talking from my personal level. This is Jerry Wayne here. I have my views, and I speak about those views. And people call me racist. Why? Not too sure. But from what I'm gathering here is the fact that if I have a political view that differs from someone else's political view, we'll call him Joe. Joe's political view, he doesn't like mine. And because he doesn't like mine, and he doesn't want to combat my opinion, I am automatically a racist. So we're living in this world now to where if you don't believe what I believe, you're a racist. And my friends are going to call you a racist, and they're going to make you feel bad about yourself. That, ladies and gentlemen, in and itself is fascism. We have these words turned around. I'm open for people to combat this. I truly, truly am. But when you tell somebody that they're wrong and they are of a certain demographic simply because they disagree with you, it's simply wrong. It's simply not true. Sit down with somebody. Talk about facts. Talk about feelings. That's perfectly fine. But I tell you right now, facts are stronger than feelings. I don't want anybody to die. I don't want people to be addicted to drugs. I don't want domestic violence. I don't want murder. I don't want any of that stuff. I simply want equality for all. And I also want to preserve the Constitution. And if that makes me a racist, then I guess we're just going to have to differ on that. I want to leave this video on a more positive note, though. I'm sure a lot of you people agree, disagree, be that as it may, you're entitled to your opinion. Let's talk about something positive, guys. And women, excuse me. I am working on something very special. It's an organization that is going to take children between the ages of 10 to 17, and we're going to teach them how to survive, how to cook, how to clean, how to, maybe not cook and cleaning so much, you learn that at home. But pretty much what it is like, you're going to learn how to hunt, you're going to learn how to fish, you're going to learn how to tie knots, you're going to learn how to trap game, you're going to learn how to field dress, you're going to learn how to use firearms safely, you're going to learn how to sew. Pretty much, you are going to learn how to survive without government aid. Not only without government aid, but without another individual helping you. You're going to learn how to plant seeds, how to farm a garden. You're going to learn all the things that our schools should be teaching, life lessons. And I think this is really important for our society right now. I think it's important to get into this early. I think it's important to get all of you involved in it. You know, we live in an era right now that we have to have two parents go to work to fend for their entire family. Be that as it may, I think it's important now to build camaraderie in our community, and I think that this organization is what's going to do it. I'm not going to tell you what the organization is called right now because I'm trying to still obtain that name, and I don't want to get it out there in the public and have the name taken away, so that is further to come. But yeah, as of right now, it's underway. I have a lady by the name of Brianna. She is. I met her on Twitter, and she's helping me make this happen. So shout out to Brianna. Thank you very much. And I've had a ton of people reaching out that want to be a part of this, and they want to help this. And this is going to be very veteran orientated. I would love to make this to where I can give veterans jobs, and not only that, but disabled veterans. I think that they truly know how to build camaraderie amongst human beings. And I really want to lean on that demographic there because what we're trying to teach these children is that we need to preserve America. We need to preserve American rights. The Constitution cannot fall. And we're getting away from that in society and in our schools. I do believe children should be saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I think it's very important. Do I think that they should be forced to? Absolutely not. But I do believe that they should have the opportunity to say that every single day, whether it's before school, after school, or during school. That should not be taken lightly. Because I pledge to allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag. I'm not going to go on and say it right now, guys, but our country needs that more than ever. Excuse my stuttering and all that stuff. I'm trying to do this video on one take, so please bear with me because my editing skills are absolutely terrible. So, but yeah, that's the lighter note, guys. We're moving towards something. I'm not going to be staying out here to be that warrior all the time, you know. I don't want to keep this warrior mentality. I think that we have plenty of people out there that are very good at it, and not only good at it, they're a lot better than me at it. So what I'm going to start doing, everybody, is I'm going to start my campaign to bring this country together. And I'm not going to be able to change everybody's mind, but what I am going to be able to do is to start changing a mindset. And the mindset is equality for all and to protect yourself as well as the Constitution. And if I can get people behind that, I think that we can start a very, very big movement here, not just for these next couple months, not just for these next couple years, but for the rest of our country, time on Earth, to preserve the Constitution, to preserve our country, and to move forward. What the heck? Oh, okay. There's some dogs running behind me. That was crazy. I didn't see that. I'm not editing that out either because this is raw, guys. But yeah. Yeah, we're going to move together to preserve our country and the Constitution. I hope you all can get behind it. Let me know what you think. I'm open to constructive criticism. I'm open to your ideas. And let me know what you guys want to do with this. Let me know in the comments below. And give me a like. Please subscribe because this is just starting, guys. We're going to ramp this up big. I'm working with other people now. And because they're not politically, but they're... they know how to do, what is it called, social networking, and I act like I live in Iraq. Yeah, social networking, and because I don't know how to do that stuff, and they're really going to help me out with this. We're going to really push, and you guys are the motor behind this. You guys are the heart and soul. I'm simply a face, so let's work together, and let's push our narrative, guys, and let's take this country back. One more note, guys, before you go, I want to give a shout out. A company sent this out to me, and I wanted to share it for you guys. Can you guys see that? I'll get back here a little bit. They sent this out to me out of the kindness of their hearts, and this company is called the Mississippi Flag Company, and the gentleman is named Marty Ray. And I talked to them recently. Outstanding guys there. They do really good work. I do woodworking myself, and I was like floored with this. It's so smooth, and they sent it to me out of the kindness of their hearts, and I want to give them a shout out here because I support people that A, support me, B, that make things American, and C, stand up for the Constitution. So if you guys want a flag made, go ahead and reach out to these guys. Tell them Jerry Wayne sent you, and if you guys make something, or if you guys have something out there that is American-made, please shout out to me, because I'm willing to help you just as much as you're willing to help me. We're all in this together, and let's keep up the fight, guys. Jerry Wayne, out, and God bless.